Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's IELTS analysis class, where I will be going through some important collocations which you can use in your IELTS writing. So well done to all of those who had a go at the exercise today, and welcome to those who are watching us live on either Facebook or YouTube. As usual, please say hi if you're watching the class live. It will be great to see who is participating today. And if you have suggestions in terms of answers or questions as we go through the task, then please let me know and I can read those in the chat and give any feedback that is relevant. So we will have a look at the task. It was based on vocabulary and collocations, and the key was to use adjective noun collocations which were appropriate within the context of the example sentences that we were presented with. So I'm bringing this up now. And we can see the first one then, a civilization that is current and contemporary. Well, what we are talking about here is a modern civilization. Simple as that. Current and contemporary means modern. So we can put that in here. If we just make that a little bit more legible. So we're talking about a modern civilization. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So that's the phrase that we should have by the end of it. The adjective modern and the noun civilization. If we have a look at the next example, societies that live off the land. We're talking here about living off the land relates to agricultural. So we can express that as a phrase. We can talk about agricultural societies. Okay. If I can write this in here. That's the answer that we should have got. So agricultural is number 2. And number 3, a culture that is stronger than other cultures. What suggestions do we have for this one? Hello, Alice. Great to see you in the class today. If you have any suggestions, let me know. What do we think? A culture that is stronger than other cultures? And hello to Manahil as well. Great to see you in the class too. Okay, well, a culture that is stronger than others would be dominant. So if you're dominant, it means that you are strong. And that's the collocation that we use here. We talk about dominant cultures. And so that's the word we want in the space just here. And we move on. Number 4, communities that are doing well and are successful. Which of these adjectives refers to successful? So I can see we've got now Niha in the class. Hello to you. Dorothy, dominant. John, dominant. You both suggested that as the answer. Well done. What do you think to the next one? Which communities, which adjective refers to a community that is doing well and is successful? Hello to Abdul Latif as well. Great to see you all in the class. I hope you're doing well today. So the answer would be thriving. Yeah, a community that is doing well and is successful is a thriving community. Okay, so that will be the answer to number 4. And Abdul Latif, exactly, well done. That is the answer. And also Dorothy and John as well. I can see you put the answer there too. That's great. What about the next one then? Number 5, the public that is made up of ordinary people. Hello, PJ. Great to see you in the class as well. So what do we think? Ordinary people? Well, when we're talking about ordinary people, we are talking about the general population, or sorry, the general public, rather. I was looking at number 6 then. Yeah, we're talking about the general public. So that's an expression we use. Again, the adjective general with the noun of public to create that phrase. Yeah, general public. I should underline the nouns as well. So agricultural, we've got so far modern civilization, agricultural societies, dominant culture, thriving communities, and now we've got general public. Okay, so these are all phrases that would be useful in your IELTS writing, depending on the question, but we often talk about the general public. That could come into almost any IELTS question, and modern civilization compared to ancient civilization, or compared to how things were done in the past, dominant cultures. These are the sorts of collocative phrases which can be used in many different IELTS questions. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at now then is number 6. So we've got some suggestions. We've got indigenous from Dorothy. We've got Nia is saying urban, relating to population. And yes, absolutely. When we're talking about populations that live in towns and cities, we're talking about urban populations. Yeah, that's what urban means. Urban means relating to towns and cities. So we can put that just here. Yeah, that's urban populations. Okay. On to the next one. So the elite that controls and runs a country, who are we referring to? Well, I think this one's quite obvious. This is the governing elite, which is basically a synonym for the government in most cases. Yeah, the governing elite is the government. So you might want to use this phrase as an alternative to the government. Sorry, I said government too many times and distracted myself. This is, yeah, governing rather. Yeah, the governing elite. As I said, you might want to use this as a synonym for government, just to vary your language when it comes to your writing. And we're going to the final one now. Just before we do, hello, Zia, great to see you in the class again. And Dorothy and Zia, yep, absolutely, governing was the answer to the previous one. And so we're left with indigenous for number 8. And of course, with the adjective starting with a vowel, we want to use an indigenous people. Here we're looking at people as a collective noun, so we can use the indefinite article. Yeah, we'd stick an N there just because it starts with I, the adjective. So yeah, we talk about an indigenous people in this context. Okay, so those were the answers then that we should have got to this task, and hopefully you got them correct. And the thing to do now is, if you did get them correct, or you're watching this video and now you understand hopefully, the meanings of these phrases and how these can be used, the next thing to do will be to use them in your writing. So when you're doing your IELTS writing, you're practicing part 2, try and use some of these expressions where appropriate as a way of varying your language and using higher level language to get the highest band score that you possibly can. So thank you to all of those who are watching live today. I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday for another IELTS analysis class. Until then, keep working hard and take care.